Tell the people in your life that you love them. Moments go by so quick and people are lost so quick. And sometimes we're all gonna live with some regrets, but there's some regrets you could handle, you know? Try to be more forgiving. Try to really tell people on a day-to-day basis that you care about them. Because you never know what people are going through, and that one comment could change everything. I am half Jamaican, half Irish Canadian. My father was there for the beginning of my childhood, but around 8 years old, he dealt with addiction pretty badly. So he was in a rehab center. So he wasn't there for a good 4 years of my life. In looking back, when I do look back, I only have positive memories. I see pictures of us, swimming or just building a snowman outside. So in my actual memory, there's a little bit lost, but it's only good things. And when he came back, it was a continual effort to try to be the best person he could be. So I saw that as you can make mistakes in life, but as long as you're willing to work through them, you can work through them and you'll be better. So I don't have any negative memories of my childhood, even with that fact. I did have my mother there, who was a very strong person, especially in the community. She would work as a social worker in Little Burgundy at a time where it was very gang filled and, a hard place for a young person of color to be. But she really tried to create programs for children for after school to have a place to express themselves, whether it's in music, sports, things like that. So she really spent a lot of time working with people of different races. So when this or anything in my life would happen, she would have a conversation with me with respect to race and how people have unconscious biases and just how people perceive things, and kind of guide me in how to act if I have to make little changes here and there. Also, she's very good at just listening. A lot of the time, you just need someone that will just be like, oh, yeah, that sucks. And she was always good at finding the line between I need to make a point and I need to just listen. And it taught me to be more like that towards other people. In the area I lived in and went to school, I personally didn't notice any differences in race, but being mixed, it was a bit of a struggle on both sides. So it was the you're not black enough, and then it was, let's say you look the same to the police. It's kind of issues on both sides. But especially in this year where everyone kind of was really forced to look at race in a different way, with George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement, I had to acknowledge even my privilege in being lighter skinned, where I have friends that are darker skinned and I'm treated differently than them. In different experiences make you open your eyes to things differently. My experience, again, with my father, who was often in the beginning kind of always late to things, always kind of unreliable. In my own way, I had a racist tendency towards that, to see that, Black people are like that. So I kind of forced myself to be the opposite. So that made me a little bit different, in the sense that I would start doing stuff and people would be like, oh, you do it like a white person. And I would take that as a compliment. And I would take that as a good thing, as in, like, now I fit in, Whereas I should have took it as, what does it matter about black, white, or anything? I'm just being good or being smart or being things like that, where, I don't know, I just had to come to grips with it. And it's something that I only really understood this year, with kind of, let's call it the enlightening that we all kind of went through. So it was a balance of trying to find a way to inform without judging for ignorance. We're jumping on someone's ignorance too much, when we should just be a little bit more understanding and try to educate. Most people want to learn, but when you teach them by attacking them, then they go completely the opposite way. I was always creative. I was always a drawer, painter type person. And only once I got into high school did I get more into math and science and seeing how things work. So in my creative side, I was always interested in doing something productive. And when I first started, before I got into the math and sciences, it was architecture. It was, if I could draw something, have an imagination to what the world should look like, that'd be cool. So in putting that kind of understanding together with my creativity, I went on a tour of Concordia where they showed me what the building engineering program would be like. And I was really taken by it because I think that was the perfect merging of, I love designing something that people can use, and I love, making it work. In university, I joined the Building Engineering Society, where I worked as VP Social, where I'd organize events, wine and cheeses, parties, things like that, where I kind of made sure to spread the message as I got older and new kids would come in that, yeah, school's important, doing your homework's important, but having the social aspect with which engineers struggle with is super important, because a lot of the time it isn't what you know, it's who you know. And just finding a way to make connections is more important than we really give credit to. So that really got me to a point where I understood how to balance between working hard and playing hard, and just the importance of a community as well. I currently work for the Lester B. Pearson School Board, Montreal English-speaking school board. I do energy management, project management, things of that nature. But as a side thing / way to get through coronavirus, I started really diving deep into art. Painting, drawing is things that everybody does. I feel like when everybody can do it, what's the point? That's kind of, it's not true for everyone, but for me, it is kind of true. So I wanted something different. So really randomly and out of nowhere, I was at the dollar store, my second home. I bought a canvas planning to paint, but then I walked by yarn. And I was like, can I glue yarn to make a painting? And then I was like, all right, might as well try. So what I did was I got home, cut up some yarn, and I tried to recreate Van Gogh's Starry Night out of yarn. And even though it's one of my weirder pieces now, I'm still happy with it. I still love it. And people have asked to buy it, but I can't sell it. It means too much. So we got this guy, my boy Rafiki. This is probably my favorite one I've ever made. Obviously Rafiki, I don't know if you could even tell that it's yarn, but hopefully my whole goal is to make it seem like you can't really tell what it is. People often think it's paintings, but when you come closer and you try to touch it, you look at it, it's really yarn that I glued onto canvases. Here's one of my favorite recreations. It's Picasso's Girl in a Mirror. So it's hard because I really try to recreate, but I try not to copy. So some of the colors might not be the same. Some of the placements might be a little bit different, but when you look at it, you're kind of like, okay, that's clearly a Picasso. And it's always cool because the yarn, you could touch it, you could play with it a little bit. You don't want to move the pieces too much, but I really do enjoy it. This one, I'm a big Mac Miller fan. So when he died, that was kind of crushing to me. So this was kind of my way of, doing a little homage to him. This is one of his album covers where he's yawning. Remember kind of the motto. Not only does it make me happy, it makes other people happy. I'm really a people pleaser, so I love that. You're going to create something, put it out there. People like it, people don't like it. Doesn't really matter. Comments become negative, turn off comments. Like if it's really like that, because when it comes to creativity, someone will enjoy it. Maybe not monetarily, but just making someone smile, it will do it. It's just something I enjoy doing, and I enjoy making people laugh, people smile, kind of spreading positivity. So that's the whole goal. And that's how it started. And at one point, someone just asked, "Are these for sale?" And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, but sure. It started with like maybe my mom, and then some stranger, and I was like, okay, should I sell these as well when I can? But then I opened up for commissions. You send me a picture, I could try to recreate it in an artistic way. And that kind of really put me on in a place where now I'm doing what I love. I'm making a little bit of money from it. And yeah, that's just where it's going from now. The best way to spread positivity and help others is to love yourself. People out there are going to hate on you. People out there are going to be mean on you. You yourself should not be another person who's being hard on you. That's the best way. So once you start with self-love, then you're able to give it out. But the people that are actually happy are happy with themselves. And then they're good to give it out to everyone. Not sitting here and saying that I am super in love with myself or anything. Like I have my flaws and I have my things that I hate about myself. But it's knowing that just being mad at myself or angry with myself is not going to help. The only thing that's going to help is acknowledging that I have these flaws, working on them, and trying to be better for myself first. And then I could be better for everybody.